You're watching Alaska's news source.
And that I will faithfully perform.
Tonight, Anchorage's new mayor and her vision for the city. Anchorage's new mayor is now in office. We have more details on that story, but first.
The fire is still very active, and we're hoping that the weather is going to cooperate, and that may help in the firefighting efforts.
We continue following a series of wildfires, including massive plumes of billowing smoke seen over the weekend in Denali National Park. Firefighters are trying to knock down the flames of the Riley fire. We have live team coverage tonight as the situation unfolds in the park and as we monitor the Montana Creek fire. We start with Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry. Give us an update and an overview of the fires in the state.
Yeah, Rebecca, these numbers just continue to climb here really by the minute. I want to show you the latest numbers and where these fires are burning in the state. Again, we currently have 162 active fires burning in the state of Alaska, indicated by those yellow points you see on the map, pretty much spreading from the Brooks Range all the way down to the Alaska Peninsula and even into South Central. Now, 18 of those are new in just the past 24 hours, so just discovered today or late last night. We also have 18 staffed fires in the state. No, it is a coincidence that those two numbers are the same, but we're now up to 434,000 acres burned so far this year, and that number has climbed hundreds of thousands of acres again just in the past 2 weeks. So definitely seeing this ramping up. Now, two of the larger fires that we have been monitoring are the McDonald fire burning there south of Fairbanks and also further to the north where evacuations are still in place, the Grapefruit Complex, including the Globe fire burning over 14,000 acres. But I want to get a closer look now at the Riley fire. That's burning again near Denali National Park with Lex Yelverton. She joins us now live. And Lex, we understand both tourists and Alaskans at the park are being moved away from those flames nearby.
Yeah, Melissa, you can see the Riley fire just right behind me. It is near the entrance of the Denali National Park. It looks a little bit different than it did earlier. We're seeing a lot more of that smoke billowing up into the air, and that leads me to some problem areas. We're here with Paul Oleg with the National Park Service with Denali National Park and Preserve. What can you tell me about some of the areas that we're watching out for right now?
Sure. Well, today, at this time of day, is generally the time that we would see the greatest increase in fire activity because we have the warming sun, we've got the winds coming in, and so you would normally see fires billow up like this at this time of day. But some of these areas are areas that we are focusing a lot of the efforts of the crews that are up there. The air attack crews are kind of focusing on this southern flank in order to keep the fire to the west of the Nenana River and north of the Park Road.
Right. In regards to our crews and firefighters who might be on the ground or in the air, where are they at right now?
Right now, they're mostly focusing right here on this southern flank with the air crew really making some good progress, particularly the helicopter with the bucket. The haul bucket is really helping with some of these hot spots on this ridge behind us.
That's amazing. And do we know how big the fire is or how big it's grown?
Yeah, we recently did some analysis with some heat sensing satellites, and the perimeter right now stands at about 358 acres.
Okay, and in regards to operations with the park, have there been any developments with those?
So we have made a determination that today's operations are going to be the same, or tomorrow's operations are going to be the same as today's. So the park will be closed to private vehicles as well as day-use visitors. There will be no tour bus or transit bus service, and all public facilities are going to be closed.
Gotcha. Have we seen a lot of fires in this area? We were talking about this a little bit earlier, but this is a unique spot to have a fire. It's very visible and close proximity to us.
Yeah, and this is the first significant fire that we've had in the entrance area of Denali National Park since 1924, almost 100 years ago to the day when a major fire came through this area, destroyed several structures, and dramatically impacted park operations, which were significantly different in 1924 than they are today.
Right, and do we have any updates with the specific cause of this fire that you know of?
We still don't have a cause of the fire. We do have a fire investigator coming in They will be here and they will be looking really closely at what they think might have caused this. But right now, we don't have any updates on that.
All right. Well, Paul Oleg with the National Park Service. We're going to turn it over to my colleague, John Thompson, who is covering another active fire in the state. We're going to go to him now, covering the Montana Creek fire. John?
All right, thanks, Lex. That's right, the Montana Creek fire. We're pretty close to the Montana Creek campground, which is about a mile from the Montana Creek fire. You can see right behind me Montana Creek Road, and just down that road is where the fire is taking place. We were speaking with crews and logistics teams. Seemingly very good situation roughly 24 hours after the start of the fire. Actually, a little bit of rain earlier, and also a big help has been this hose setup around the entire perimeter of the 172-acre Montana Creek fire. The hose and pump setup, along with sprayed fire retardant, are keeping the fire contained. According to Incident Commander Timothy Sherwin out of Wyoming, the 172-acre fire now roughly 35% contained.
Containment is a relative term for areas in which you know that are secure, and secure means you have a high confidence that it will stay in place. It doesn't mean it's 100%. The contained is just basically as we move around it, we are more and more confident as we continue our work that it's going to remain where it needs to remain.
Right, so pretty good idea that's happening with the containment. So good, some pretty good news there. Containment, and like I said, just about a mile down the road here behind us, the Montana Creek fire. We're about 16 miles south of Talkeetna. Also, right now, officials say there's no word on what has caused that fire. I'm going to toss it back to Melissa Fry in the studio. John Thompson for Alaska's News Source.
And John, thank you. And thanks to Lexi Elverton. Again, on the ground, they're getting us that latest information. And again, needless to say, fire danger is high at this point. And that's true across so much of the state, from South Central all the way into the interior. Again, with those active fires burning on the ground, you need to know that a lot of burn permits have been suspended right now. That means no burning of debris piles, lawns, and burn barrels. Now, for some locations, including the Mat-Su, you can have campfires right now, but they're really asking you to use a lot of extra caution in that regard. And they have to be less than 3 feet in diameter. Those, however, are not allowed in the Anchorage municipality. All open fires here are prohibited, including those campfires and burn pits. So again, use extra caution. Now, we heard some good news from John Thompson, and I have some good news too about some rain finally on the way. I'll have more details on that coming up here in a few minutes. But I do want to let you know that 4 additional crews arrived in the state today to help stop the wildfires. 14 crews have arrived so far. 2 of the new crews will be sent to that Riley fire today. Sam Harrell with Alaska Wildland Fire Information says he suspects the number of crews there will be growing. These are active fires with conditions that can change at a moment's notice.
We all need to be in the ready mode because it's the time of year that this can happen. And if you're in the ready mode and you're starting to develop a plan and thinking about, if there is a wildfire in my backyard and I'm going to need to evacuate, what do I want to take with me? Where am I going to go?
The Alaska's Weather Source app has all the active fire warnings across the state and is the first place to get the latest information on this developing weather situation.